Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at a really specific situation today. High stakes, limited resources, but critical goals.
Right, and this whole scenario, it's drawn from a source we've got here, a really detailed battle report. Tabletop war game stuff.
Yeah, a 1,000-point game. It was Ultramarines versus Orks, a classic matchup.
In this report, it's meticulous. I mean, it tracks everything, every move, shot, decision across, 5 turns?
Exactly. So think of it like a case study, a miniature look at how battles can unfold.
The goal here isn't really about the game itself,
Yeah.
the rules or whatever.
No, not at all. It's about pulling out the strategic lessons, the planning, the mistakes, those moments of pure chance.
And seeing how they all mix together to decide who comes out on top. It's strategy, risk, adaptation.
Yeah.
All through this one specific fight.
Okay, so let's paint the picture. We've got this Ultramarine patrol reconnaissance mission.
Led by Captain Aurelius, sent into this sector because there are reports, whispers really, of an Ork incursion.
And the big rumor is Gazkul Thraka might be there. The Beast of Armageddon himself may be vulnerable with a smaller force.
Could be. The Ultramarines certainly don't have unlimited backup. They need to be smart, efficient.
So Aurelius's force, it's built for a bit of everything, seems like. He's got units ready to deep strike, appear suddenly behind the lines.
Yeah, Terminators, those heavy hitters, and a Calidus assassin. Sneaky. Good for disruption.
Then on the ground, the heavy metal, a Gladiator Lancer tank.
Right, with that big anti-tank cannon.
Yeah.
You see, it's meant for taking out the tough targets.
Yeah.
And it's got a Tech Marine buddy to keep it running.
And holding the line, you've got this monster, a Brutalis dreadnought called Maximus, built for close combat, just tearing things up.
And it's dug in with Infernus Marines.
Wow.
Flamers, good against hordes.
Plus some assault intercessors for close fights, and scouts way out front doing the spotting, agile guys.
The Orks. Always unpredictable. But this force, it's actually quite, diverse for its size.
At the heart of it, Gaz himself and his bodyguard, these big, stompy meganobs.
All crammed into a truck, which is basically, a fast but flimsy transport. Not exactly subtle.
They've also got Storm Boys Orks with rockets, fast movers.
And it's Beast Snagaboys. These guys are tough, known for hunting bigger things. Resilient.
And then a couple of characters. The Red Gobbo, this weird little sneaky git on one flank.
And a beast boss leading some of those snagas. Real mix.
So initial setup, both sides are jockeying for position, looking at the objectives on the map.
Yeah, there's the main objectives controlling territory, the primary ones, but also these secondary missions, specific tasks for extra points.
And those secondaries, they often force you to, split your forces, make tough choices. They can be absolutely critical.
Yeah, we see that almost straight away, don't we?
Okay. Turn 1 begins. Ultramarine scouts, they push right onto the middle objective. Aggressive.
Doing their job. Eyes forward. And bang, they spot him. Hear the truck, see it coming, loaded with the gas and the meganobs.
So seeing this massive threat rolling towards them, the scouts do the smart thing. Use their movement to pull back into some ruins nearby.
Still got eyes on, still reporting back, but safer. Good move.
Meanwhile, the Orks make their moves. Truck barrels towards the center. Storm Boys use their rockets, leap ahead on a flank.
The Beast Snagas move into cover, some ruins. And the Red Gobbo parks himself on an objective marker.
Back with the Ultramarines, the Gladiator tank repositions, needs a clear shot at that truck, knows what's inside.
Right. At the same time, Maximus the Dreadnought and a Tech Marine move back. They're trying for a secondary objective, something about investigating signals in their own deployment zone.
But here's the first slip-up the report calls out. The Tech Marine, he moves just slightly out of the required zone, inches maybe.
Yeah, just misjudged it, and boom, missed points. Seems small, but these things add up fast, especially early on.
So end of turn 1 scoring. Ultramarines get 15 points for holding 3 primary objectives, plus 2 points from a secondary. 17 total.
Orks get 10 on primaries, but they completed a secondary for cleansing objectives, adding 5. So 15 points. A slight lead for the Ultramarines, actually. Correction there.
Oh, right. Okay. Then the Gladiator takes its first shot. Targets that truck.
Big hit. Does 8 wounds. Significant damage.
But the truck, it holds on. Just 2 wounds left. Still rolling, still carrying gas. End of turn 1.
Now, turn 2. This is where things really kick off. The whole battle shifts.
Okay, Orks' turn. They push that advantage. The guys who jumped out of the truck, they charged the scouts in the ruins.
Overwhelm them.
Yeah.
Take that central objective fair and square. Good Ork pressure.
And a clever bit of tactics here from the Ork player. They park the damaged truck, use it as a shield, basically.
Exactly. blocks the gladiator's line of sight to Gaz and the Meganobs hiding behind it. Smart. The Ork boys pile out to fight the scouts.
Okay, other stuff happening. The Storm Boys try a charge on the Ultramarine line.
But the Infernus Marines are waiting. Overwatch fire. Flamers.
And it's brutal. Just wipes out the entire Storm Boy unit. They don't even make it into combat. That defense held perfectly.
Very effective.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other flank, the Ultramarine assault intercessors push up, going for an objective.
But bam! Ork reserves arrive. Beast Snagaboys pop up right next to them.
Yep. Kept off board, now they appear. And they charge immediately. Savage fight. 3 intercessors go down fast.
The sergeant fights back hard with his hammer, takes down a couple of Snagas, but yeah, the squad's getting mauled.
And now, the Ultramarine reinforcements arrive. Deep strike.
Captain Aurelius and the Calidus assassin, they appear way behind Ork lines. Target the red gobbo.
Hit him hard, leave him on just 1 wound. But, another error here.
The secondary objective mistake, right?
Yeah, the report highlights this. They meant to land in the enemy deployment zone for points, but they actually landed in no man's land, just slightly off.
And that cost them another 5 victory points. Ouch. These small errors are really hurting their score.
Definitely. And then, the moment. The dice gods intervene.
The Gladiator Lancer can't see Gaz because of the wrecked truck, so it shoots the truck again.
Finishes off easily, deals the last 2 wounds, destroys it, but then the explosion roll.
Double 6s, which is rare, right? It means a massive explosion.
Catastrophic explosion. Sends out 3 mortal wounds damage that ignores armor to everything nearby.
And nearby is, well, everyone important for the Ork.
It vaporizes the Meganob's bodyguard, wipes out almost all the Ork boys who just got out. The truck itself is gone.
Leaving Guzkul Thraka, the big boss, and his little banner waver Makari just standing there, completely exposed on the objective they just took.
Incredible turn of luck. The Gladiator then uses its smaller guns, picks off the last surviving Ork boy from the truck squad.
And now Maximus, the Brutalis Dreadnought, has a clear shot, unleashes its melta-guns.
Melts right through Gaz's armor, takes off 9 wounds, kills Makari outright.
Then the Dreadnought's stubber guns fire, just rapid fire, and deal exactly the last 2 wounds needed.
Down goes the Beast of Armageddon, just like that. The whole center of the Ork force, gone. The objective is clear.
Wow, okay. So, Ork's reaction.
Wow, what else? The remaining Orks go berserk, even more dangerous now, fueled by rage.
And even after all that, they're still fighting. The enraged Beast Snagas finish off the last of the assault intercessors. Brutal.
So, end of turn 2. Let's check the score. Despite losing Gaz, the Orks actually scored big this turn.
Really? How?
They held 3 primary objectives before the explosion cleared the center. That's 15 points. And they achieved both their secondaries, another 10 points. So 25 points for the Orks this turn.
Okay, and the Ultramarines?
Only 5 points on primaries because the center was contested, then cleared late. Still struggling with secondaries. So the Orks are actually still well ahead on points, despite the absolute chaos and losing their warlord.
That just shows how vital those objectives are. You can kill the big guy, but if you're not scoring points.
Exactly. Points win games. Okay, mid-game, turn 3.
The Calidus assassin who popped up earlier.
Yeah, she takes a shot at the remaining Ork leader, the Beast boss. Uses her neural shredder.
Does work.
Lands 1 wound.
Yeah.
Just 1. And she uses her ability to just fade away. Pulls back into reserves, avoids getting squished. Smart move.
Scoring in turn 3.
Ultramarines still having trouble with secondaries. Fail both again. Get 10 points from holding 2 primaries.
And the Orks. Fewer units now.
They also hold 2 objectives. Get 10 points too. So the gap stays the same. Still pretty wide. Those missed secondary points from earlier are really haunting the Ultramarines now.
Right. Okay, turn 4. Ultramarines starting to feel their numbers advantage now.
Yeah, they get new orders, focus on spreading out, locking down their home base. Maximus the Dreadnought just strolls onto the central objective, claims it easily.
Infernus Marines hold the home objective, so they're scoring primaries well and probably getting secondaries done now, too.
Exactly. They achieve their goals easily this turn. Meanwhile, the Ork survivors, mostly Beast Snagas and the Beast Boss, they dig into a ruin on their own objective. Another group falls back.
Sensing the tide has turned.
Pretty much.
All right.
The Gladiator tank and the Tech Marine line up a shot, take down 6 of the Snagas in the ruin.
And then, wait, the red gobbo? Still alive?
On 1 wound.
Yeah.
And he does the most Ork thing ever. Makes this incredibly long charge across the field, right at the Gladiator tank.
No way. Does he actually do anything?
He does. Causes mortal wounds somehow, bypasses the armor, takes the tank down to half health. It's amazing.
Huh. Classic Ork spirit.
Then the Gladiator just, crushes him. And the Tech Marine starts repairs, gets one wound back on the tank. But still, what a last stand for the Gobbo.
So, Orc scoring this turn must be low.
Very low. They fail both secondaries, only get 5 points for holding their home objective.
And the Ultramarines.
They cash in. Max 15 points on primaries. Plus, they nail 2 secondaries for another 8 points. That VP gap is closing fast now. The score is getting tight. Okay, turn 5. The end game. What's left for the Orks?
Just the last few beast snagas. And the beast boss, who somehow survived the assassin's attack earlier, they make one last desperate charge.
Where are they going?
Straight for the center, trying to maybe contest it, grab some late points, final push.
And Maximus Dreadnought is waiting for them.
Yep, holding the center. Maximus actually misses his Overwatch shots as they charge in.
Oh. So they get into combat.
They do, but it doesn't go well for them. Maximus's giant claws just tear through the beast boss, kills him easily.
And the rest of the squad.
Maximus turns his guns on them, meltas stubbers, wipes them all out.
That's it.
Pretty much. The report says only a single Orc model escaped the battlefield by the end. Total clearance.
And final scoring for the Ultramarines in turn 5.
Matt's points again. Full 15 for primaries, got 5 for secondary about killing units, and another 5 for controlling objectives in no man's land. Strong finish.
So final tally is...
Ultramarines 80, Orcs 64. A solid win for the Ultramarines in the end.
But it was closer than it looked after that explosion, mainly because of the points difference earlier.
Absolutely. So takeaways from this whole deep dive. The report itself really hammers home the secondary missions.
Yeah, those missed points early on the Tech Marine position.
Yeah.
The deep strike era that was at least 7 points left on the table. Maybe more.
If the Ultramarines had grabbed those, and maybe if that truck hadn't exploded so spectacularly...
The Orks could easily have won. It shows winning isn't just about killing stuff. It's about playing the objectives, playing the mission. Points are key.
Definitely. But let's give credit where it's due. What did each side do well?
Orks played the early game brilliantly. That trick screen, genius. Using reserves well, grabbing objectives, scoring fast. They were executing their plan perfectly.
The report basically says they were on track to win before the dice turned against them.
For sure. Ultramarines, though, they had moments too. That Infernus Overwatch was clutch. Completely shut down the Stormboy's flank.
And the Gladiator. Okay, maybe not the best type of Gladiator for hordes. The report mentioned maybe a Reaper variant would be better.
Right, but the Lancer did its job. It delivered the kill shot on the truck. That changed everything. Can't argue with results.
And the Terminators, despite the deployment mistake, they did help grab objectives later on.
So it's this amazing mix, isn't it? Strategy meeting pure chance. Orks had the better early strategy and execution, arguably.
But one random event, that double 6 explosion, just flipped the whole table. Gave the Ultramarines an opening they exploited really well.
It really drives home that, yeah, plan meticulously, but you also have to be ready for sheer luck, good or bad, and know how to react when it happens.
So thinking about this whole battle, this narrative we've just walked through, planning, execution, mistakes, luck. What does it mean for you listening?
Well, it's a microcosm, right? It shows you need preparation, you need clear goals, big ones like kill the leader, but also those smaller, vital ones like the secondaries, understanding the rules of the game.
But it equally slams home the need to adapt. What happens when your plan gets blown up, literally in this case? How do you pivot?
And how tiny things, where you stand, one lucky dice roll, can have massive ripple effects. It's the system, the plan, and the chaos, all interacting.
It makes you think, how do you balance planning for what you expect versus being ready for the completely unexpected? In anything, really.
A constant tension.
So we've gone through the moves, the mistakes, that incredible turning point.
And it leaves us with a final thought to chew on.
This battle shows us that while strategic planning is vital, victory often hangs in the balance between the perfect execution of the small details, those secondary objectives, and the unpredictable chaos of that one lucky or unlucky break. How do you balance planning for the expected with preparing for the utterly unexpected?